Hello everyone, December 30th, Monday, another day of vlog with Daniel Chungo Kim here. I woke up, what did I do after I woke up? I, I'm trying to remember what I did. I don't think I ate anything. It's already 12 p.m. here, afternoon. My car is supposed to be picked up because I got into a car accident. So there's a treatment called ECT with the Veterans Affairs Hospital that I go to, and then it's to treat my depression and schizophrenia that the doctors want me to get treated for. And you're not supposed to be driving when you're on ECT, and I didn't know that at that time. And so I got on my car, a Honda Civic, and then I made a right lane change. Then I ran into a car in front of me, basically, damaging the bumper of my vehicle. And then so I told my car insurance, and they told me basically it's a total loss, which means they can't, give me money to get it repaired. They're going to, give me a check basically, and then for me to, use a check for a new vehicle or whatever, basically. So that's what's going on. They apparently, according to my dad, they're supposed to be here at 12:30, but the car insurance are not here. It's past 12:30, so I don't know what's going on. I could not find my title for some odd reason. I don't know where it is. Due to the ECT, my memory has been shot, basically, meaning just horrendous. I can't remember anything, basically. I'm in a state of confusion most of the time, and just depression as well, and feels good at times too, but that's just how I feel. And I could not find the title, but I found my car insurance, so hopefully the car insurance will take that to note and handle the situation and accept my car and give me the check for the damaged vehicle, basically. And so that's what's happening, and that's it for today. Oh yes, today's my sister's birthday. She has turned 33. We're getting older now, obviously. We have been getting older, actually, but yeah, we're almost hitting that 40, 40 soon. In a bit, time just flies, just goes out the window, and just goes by real quickly. So hopefully by the time I turn 40, as I'm 35 already, 5 more years, I will have a bigger following for YouTube, and I will be able to share more vlogs and ASMR with you guys. I'm kind of discouraged a little bit because this other female ASMR artist that I did a collab with, I can't recall her name exactly at the moment, but she has almost 1,000 videos and only has 10,000 followers. So I have 200 videos, something like that, 200 or so, and I only got 200 followings. So it's kind of discouraging a bit for that little following, at least 100,000 followers, if you're gonna reach 1,000 videos. But I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know what the reason is with her, but I know the videos that are popular with the ASMR vlogs. I don't know. I didn't really watch any vlogs that has a following, honestly. The big YouTubers like Mr. Beast and Speed and all these guys do really fun stuff, with involving a lot of huge sums of money and people and games and stuff like that. And thus, I don't know what they did when they first started out. I remember watching Speed's video, and there was really nothing. It was like a little mini vlog or something like that, but he made it big eventually. So I gotta study what these guys did to rise up to that level, obviously, as I truly want to also be a YouTuber and you know, join the YouTube community and YouTube fame or whatever. You know, not whatever, but you know what I mean. Those kind of nice, awesome things that anybody can do, basically, if you put your mind and time and all those things to it, you know. So this is like a side job though for me. I'm a student. I'm trying to become a librarian. That's my main goal. But also my other main goal is to do well in YouTube. I love talking. I love sharing my life story. I love, you know, stories overall. I just love stories, I meant. So I love to tell stories of, you know, especially how amazing is that, guys? I'm a TI, target individual, sharing exact moments of these stories of what I go through that is illegal and wrong here in the US of A by the cell towers and technology and federal agencies and all these imbeciles basically that are hurting me basically, you know, and sharing it with people that stumble upon my videos or not, you know, and then you guys can at least aware yourself and how to survive and whatnot. I have many experience. I've been to jail twice. I've been to mental hospital over a year that I've been talking about, you know, and these things are big, obviously, you know. They leave a record in your life, not just a record, but experience, you know, experience and that kind of just crumb, basically. It was horrible, you know. The medicine hurts at first. They're strong and powerful, you know, the antipsychotics especially. When I was on haloperidol, that gave me like a heart attack almost feel, and I thought I was gonna die or something like that, and I was scared, honestly. And then I told the doctors that what happened, and then they basically labeled it allergic to haloperidol, so I don't have to take that ever again. But that's what's going on with haloperidol and whatnot, and jail twice. Since I'm talking about jail, you know, oh yeah, today's my sister's birthday. I don't know if I already said this. Don't mind me, guys, due to my memory being not well because of ECT, electroconvulsive, what is it called? Therapy, basically. I think that's what it stands for. Where they put these little circular little things attached to your skin, basically, and then they use anesthesia that makes you sleep, basically, and then they shock you, and then they make you go to a state of what do you call it, seizure, basically, while you're asleep. And then that's supposedly to heal your body and whatnot from depression and schizophrenia. So I've been doing this session for like over 10 times now, and the doctor said around that you should be good to go, basically. And then yeah. So anyways, the story about jail. Jail is not fun. It's cold. The bed is horrible. It's uncomfortable, basically. There's a little toilet in your room that you share with your roommate, or cellmate, I meant. And there's a camera in the corner where they watch you, basically, depending on which room you're in. But what was it? I think it was the solitary confinement, I think. That's where they had the camera, and then they watch you to see if you're hurting yourself or anything like that, basically, you know. So they will stop you, I guess. But I have an honest feeling that by the time the person is injuring themselves, it's too late, basically. I feel like the camera is kind of pointless. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I never worked for these, you know, cells, or what do you call it, jails or anything like that. Nor have I studied how they, you know, process these things, you know. I'm just a normal citizen that just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, basically, due to gang stalking, is what I would say. So, when you're in jail, you're sharing a cell with another cellmate that committed a crime and whatever they might have done, you know? And so they're a bunch of criminals, and obviously in jail. And it's cold, it's chilly, kind of. The bathroom is kind of, you know, uncomfortable in a sense, if you don't like, you know, sharing bathrooms with anybody, obviously. Me, I just became so numb in the brain due to all the trauma I went through that I really gave no F's, you know, zero FUCK basically, you know. Trying to not swear here because my pops is here, but so anyways, what do you call it? So the cell, you're stuck there, and then they do a morning call basically when breakfast is around, like is it 6 o'clock or something like that? I can't remember exactly the time, maybe 6 or something earlier maybe, and then you eat and then you can go back to bed basically and sleep. After that you get up. They open the cells, so the general population where most people are, the criminals are, you can go out and there's tables where these guys play card games, poker or blackjack or whatever those card games. You know, I didn't really get involved in it because I didn't know how to play these card games, even though I wanted to learn, but I was just kind of, you know, whatevs basically. So I kind of paced around in jail and watched television, and talked to some criminals. I spoke with the my cellmate. Was quite interesting. He was an Irish guy. He was in his like 50s or 60s or something like that. Pretty old actually. And his job was this was a jail in Virginia. And so this guy, the cellmate of mine, he was an Irishman, pretty kind guy. He was pretty cool. I liked him. His job was to sell diamonds, basically. His dad sold jewelry, basically, in New York City or something like that. And then he basically. So what happened with him was his dad has dementia or something to it, some mental illness, and then he has a pistol, a gun basically, and then the guy, my cellmate, tried to not let the dad, you know, use the gun or carry the gun because he's not mentally sane, obviously, mentally well, that is, I meant, you know, to be wielding a gun, obviously, gun is a life or death kind of situation, serious, you know. It can, you know, take a life away, kind of, you know, what do you call it? Weapon, basically, you know. So what happened was his dad, having the mental illness, was wielding the gun and tried to use the gun for something. Apparently, is how I remember it. Him telling me the story. Then he tried to stop his dad by trying to get the gun, basically, but then he accidentally squeezed the trigger basically with his dad was trying to squeeze it or something to it. I think his dad squeezed it possibly. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But so when he tried to stop his dad, the gun was fired basically, and then it hit the leg of his daughter or something to it, or his stepdaughter or daughter, and then that's basically the story. And then he got caught with it, and then was sent to jail. And then his jail time was possibly life, basically, because, you know, a gun, you know, to hitting a minor kind of seriousness. So that kind of seriousness. And as I talked to him, I gave him my number, but my phone number changed, so I lost contact with him. I don't know if he won the case or if he's still stuck in jail right now for life, possibly. But he said if he's gonna, you know, stay in jail, you know, if the conclusion is him being locked away in jail for life, basically, because of what happened, then he says he's gonna commit suicide in jail because he doesn't want to live through that, you know, and be, you know, waking up in a cell basically with prisoners and whatnot, and that, you know, that kind of horrible life, basically, you know. So that's what happened. I remember him saving like bread or something like that, or bread and banana or something like that from the meals, and then he would save it up for like later at dinner, like at nighttime when we get hungry, and he would share it with me, and we would just talk about all kinds of stuff. He would tell me these stories of like bankers or whatever that have so much money, and scamming and whatever, and how they made it so rich and whatnot. I was very these guys. Some of these guys are very. They have some knowledge in these things, is what I uh, saw basically, and just because you go to jail does not mean you're a bunch of dummies, and you know sometimes life just kind of eats you away, kind of thing. It just bites you from unforeseen kind of situations, and then yeah. So this guy that sold like jewelry with his dad or something to it, living that good life, accidentally that kind of situation happened, and then possibly life in jail forever, or prison basically. I meant, because he was in jail at that time, but he'll be transferred if he's gonna be. That's how it works. Jail's for like few years, and prison is for much longer length. Is how it is here in the U.S. And so, if he lost the case, he's in prison forever, And so that's what I remember about him. It's unfortunate, those kind of things happen, and I hope he won the case, and he's living his life right now outside of prison, obviously, like I am. I forgot what I went there for the first time. What was it? What happened with me was I can't remember due to the ECT. My memory is like shot. Literally, it's just horrible. What I mean by shot is just terrible. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember how I got there, how I got to jail. Now I remember, yes. So I had a house in Virginia, a city called Front Royal. It's a nice country-like place. It's not bad. They have good eateries, and the air is kind of decent and whatnot, being country, and in Virginia, it's not bad. So that was my first house that I had. And then so I was schizophrenic, mind controlled badly, gang stalked, all these horrible things that were happening to me. And then so my mind wasn't really intact, it wasn't sane like the way normal people are, because I'm constantly harassed and seeing things and hearing things, and medicine barely helps and whatnot. It kind of helps, in my opinion, from all these years of taking medication, antipsychotics and antidepressants. They make you numb, basically. They make you numb and make you feel kind of how do you like calm, so those are the ways it helps me, even though I still see and hear things a lot. But that's how I feel from these medications. So anyways, back then, years ago, this was my first time in jail. The reason was, it was near 4th of July, and then I went, me having the heart and the type I am, is when I go and do something, I do it big, basically. So it was near 4th of July. So obviously it was 4th of July, Independence Day here in the USA. And so I wanted to buy firecrackers, or whatever it's called. What is it called? What do you call that? Fireworks. There you go. Firecrackers, basically. So I said it right. But fireworks. So I drove all the way to, what was it, Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh or some state, I can't remember, where they sell a lot of fireworks for a reasonable price. And then I went there, and I spent $500 worth, and this is a lot of money, basically, for a guy who doesn't have a job or anything, basically, due to this kind of gang stalking. It's the main reason. When my sister's a physician assistant now, she is, but still, like, she was preparing for that kind of lifestyle and successfully made it. My brother's an RN, registered nurse, so pretty decent. I mean, not decent, they did well in school, and made it. So me being the oldest, I would have done the same too if I chose that path, of medical kind of lifestyle. But due to this gang stalking, it was constantly bothering me when I'm trying to study or do anything, So anyways, I bought the $500 of fireworks, and then I took it to the, it was like what is that place called? A place where they have like, not concerts, but it's like a baseball stadium is what I remember, in Front Royal. I can't remember the name of it, but it's pretty famous apparently, possibly famous, somewhat famous. And so I went outside of the place of the place where they have the baseball game or whatever, and then I brought my firecrackers and I lit them up, and then it went up to the sky and whatnot. Then park rangers and police officers arrived and they said, you can't do that here. They did not tell me that, hey, sir, you cannot do this. Not only that, it's illegal in the state of Virginia for firecrackers to go to project to the air, kind of thing. They did not tell me these things, Like, how do you know every little law, We don't, as a citizen, how do we know that, in my opinion, You don't. And that's what happened with me, very unlucky, basically. I didn't know these things. And then basically, the firecrackers went to the sky, and then they let me go. And then what happened was so I thought, okay, if I can't do it there, then maybe in my neighborhood where it's quiet and not that many people, So I brought it to the neighborhood. I, took out my firecrackers from my car, and then I lit it up, and then it went up to the sky and whatnot. And then this grandma, she stepped out of the house and she was just raging. Her face was so mad. I've never seen anybody like that, And then she called the cops on me, basically. And then they came. One guy came. I still remember his face and everything, obviously. And then the officer read the Miranda rights or whatever it's called, You have the right to remain silent and blah, blah, blah. He was actually reading. I thought it was kind of hilarious. He was actually reading from a little paper, basically. And I was like, you do the same job every day, reading those things to criminals all the time. How do you not remember that, Like in movies, like Hollywood actors, they even know the Miranda rights and, say it in front of camera and everything, I thought it was kind of weird, honestly. I thought I was being trolled because of gang stalking. What is gang stalking? Things are normal like that. Apparently that stuff is normal with the police officer being that, possibly, but like they increase the weirdness, like the question, like things where you're questioning, like, why is a police officer reading the Miranda rights and not knowing that, that kind of stuff, if that makes sense. And there will be so much of that kind of stuff shown into your life, basically. And then you're like, what the hell is happening? To eventually you just don't care, you just kind of ignore it eventually, like I have. It was just so much. It was just so much little things that, So anyways, he read the Miranda rights from the little note card or whatever, handcuffed me, arrested me, and then sent me to jail, basically. And that's what happened. And I stayed there in jail for like 3 months or something to it. And it was just horrible. I hated it, And I was contacting my attorney. I still remember her name, Attorney Ooms. Her name was Ooms. I thought it was kind of, not trying to sound disrespectful to her, but, the name I thought was kind of funny. Ooms, like Oompa Loompa, Ooms. They can make fun of, some people make fun of my name, my Korean name, Chunguk, basically. But, whatever. So anyways, in jail, I contacted her, being my attorney, my assigned attorney from Warren County. That's the place that I was at. And then where the judge appointed me that attorney named Ooms, basically. And then I was asking her these questions, all these questions regarding, when am I getting out, and this and this and that and whatever, all these things. And I was kind of like raising my voice a little bit because it was frustrating. Like, I think that's what was happening, possibly. I could be wrong, but that's what I do remember. Remember what I mean by that is this one prisoner apparently stabbed somebody, and that kind of imbecile, I had to deal with, basically. He was constantly getting in my business, and he was like, who yells at their attorney and blah, 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 and all this nonsense. I really wanted to smash him, honestly. I was like, man. And then when I heard that he stabbed somebody, I was like, that kind of scumbag, Like, I wanted to break his face, honestly. Excuse my language if I sound violent there, but, I'm just being real here, I don't even hurt a fly. I'm that kind of gentle person, honestly. If anything, I get abused, But if that kind of makes sense. So anyways, that's what happened. That's where I met my Irish cellmate. That's where I met that one guy that stabbed somebody, and that kid was like a Muslim or something. Yeah, it was a Muslim or something. Him and his there was like two other Muslim brothers of his, and they would like pray in a specific way at a certain time every day. And I was like, how just how 네? 네네. I was like, how ironic and how obvious and just, I don't know, just better vocab term here that I want to use, but I just can't just pull it out of my dictionary in my brain here. Like, you know, if you're a Muslim, it's just so obvious to that kind of stereotype. You know how like on TV possibly, or like how us Americans know in general, like how Muslims are like violent and stuff like that. It was literally like that, you know. A kid that stabbed somebody and then getting in my business and just constantly just bothering me, you know. And then one of his this other black guy, so that guy was like Hispanic or something, or Middle Eastern, one of those two is what I remember. And then the other black guy is like, I'm just sorry, I understand. Understand. He says, sorry, understand my little brother here. He's kind of whatever. And I was like, sure, you know. And so anyways, that was my jail first time when I went to jail in my life. And I was like, man, I served this nation honorably, lighting up fireworks, honestly, that goes to the air, even if it's illegal, going to jail for 3 months for that. In the state of Virginia, of all states, you know, the original colony, original states, you know, like, this is just absurd, honestly. I just wanted to like bring it up, raise this, you know, to someone, you know, in power and in charge of this kind of stuff. Like, this is so messed up, you know. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like that kid that stabbed somebody, you know. I was in a group, in a setting where there are people like that. Like, what kind of, this is what a life of target individual is. This is what I went through. You know, it's like unheard of hearing a Korean American going to jail and mental hospital that much, you know. It's me. And I'm the living proof, the living evidence that, you know, gang stalking exists, you know. You know, I come from a family, from a middle income family, where my siblings are in the medical field and whatnot. And I'm going to jail and prison and freaking mental hospitals, even after serving in this nation honorably, you know, in the United States Armed Forces. Like, my God, you know. That just shows that Daniel Chungo Kim, I am here, the living evidence and proof that Satans are, you know, bothering certain people. It doesn't matter who you are, you know. Even if you're a middle income Korean American that kind of, you know, normally unheard of, you know. We are normally doing decent, you know, if not well, in school and work and all that, and are quiet, and we don't really bother anybody, kind of, you know. And that's why I didn't see any other Asian person in jail. I just see one guy. He was like 5'3" or something, and he was a sexual harasser or something like that. And I think he was also Korean, sadly, possibly Korean. I can't remember exactly, but that's what I saw in the jail when I was there. And so, anyways, yeah, that's my experience in jail. Jail for the first time. And what else is there that I'd like to discuss in this video? I'll talk about jail number 2 in a separate video, as I need to take a break, as I'm kind of tired. I want to talk about mental hospitals. So I've been going to mental hospitals for over a year. All kinds of mental hospitals, from state mental hospitals to, you know, private mental hospitals to military mental hospitals, all kinds, guys and girls, you know. So it is so annoying. So when I first went through this, when you first get into this program, the guys called CSB, called Community Services Board, at least in Virginia, they're a organization where they quote, help people with mental illness to find medicine and go to the hospital and whatnot, which I kind of do agree somewhat eventually. But at first I thought they were bad guys, because they kept, finding me and taking me to the mental hospital when I'm normal and sane, I'm not, even if I have schizophrenia, I don't go out and do anything bad to anybody. I have excellent self-control and so on and so forth, And the list goes on. I don't want to defend myself here. I'm tired, honestly. So anyways, and so if you have any questions or comments, make sure you write down on my video. And as I'm getting a call from Edward Hines Jr., VA, I don't know why. But anyways, so with that being said, so CSB, those guys I truly despised, at first when I was in Virginia. I hated them because they would constantly take me to the mental hospital. And when I go to the mental hospital, you know how long I stayed there? It'd be for at least a month or 3 months at most, each and every time. So it drove me fucking insane. I wanted to destroy, wanted to just smash something, You're stuck in a hospital, they do, provide food and all these things, obviously. But what hurts the most is the medicine. The medicine I guarantee you, even gangsters or thugs or whatever, tough guys or whatever, we all hate medicine. It hurts, And so I'm not a gangster or a thug or anything like that. In fact, I'm very skinny. Or now I'm kind of skinny. I'm 170 pounds now, so I'm not too skinny anymore like I used to be. But anyways, that's what happened, They sent me to the mental hospital. I remember it was Northern Virginia Mental Health Institute. That's one of the state hospitals. Western State Hospital, another state hospital. What was it? The Veterans Affairs Hospital in Washington, D.C. and Fort Belvoir, I think. What other hospitals did I go to? There's a few more. But, they will send you there. The CSP will, basically kidnap you in a sense. They'll detain you. They'll arrest, or not arrest you, but they'll detain you. You're not being arrested, obviously, but you're being detained, And then you have to go to court for that too, to see if you are in the right of, being in the hospital or not. And most of the time you will lose the situation, and then you will have to serve your month or 3 months in the mental hospital. And so with me, I've been going to this mental hospital for up to a year plus, right? But my question to them is, how do you know if I'm taking my medicine or not back then? Now I am completely taking it. Yes, back then I did not take my medicine, I'm not gonna lie. But how do you know that I'm not taking my medicine, I'm not going out, bashing things or being loud or going crazy or manic or anything like that. But these guys, they will come to my apartment back when I lived in US 21 Alexandria, Virginia, where there was apparently a shooting of politicians being, fired at, and some nonsense, basically, on purpose, possibly, because of gang stalking, maybe, I don't know. But with that being said, how do you know that, I could easily lie. I could easily lie and say I'm taking my medicine. How do you know if I'm taking my medicine or not, You can do a P test and see if your medicine is going to be in the urine, but they don't even go that far, So how are you going to know if I'm taking my medicine or not, if I'm, not manic or anything, And so that was very frustrating to me. I was like, yes, I'm not taking my medicine, so yes, I agree that I should obviously, it sucks, but the truth is, that's just how the world works in a sense with the CSP and all this bullshit, So it's whatever, I should be in a mental hospital in that situation, kind of, if that kind of makes sense. But my point here is, how do you know that if I was taking the medicine or not? You get what I'm saying? Like, they don't check completely if you're taking the medicine or not. They don't do a P test or anything like that to see, oh, you are indeed, in fact, taking your medicine, or calling up, the VA or whatever, wherever you get your medicine from, and then, checking to see if the guy is actually taking medicine or not, But they don't do that. They just take you right away to a fucking mental hospital for a month at least. You know how long a month is, guys, It is so fucking miserable, It sucks. I actually hated mental hospitals more than jail because the medicine was just a killer. It was just horrible. I just despised it, It would hurt in the body. You will constantly pace back and forth as one of the side effects. And eventually, so the key, guys, as an experienced medicine taking personnel here, what you need to do is constantly take it. At first, you're going to go through the pacing and all that. Yeah, it sucks. It's horrible. Yeah, it really is. But whatever the doctor gives you, just take it. Just take it and just let the body do its thing a little bit for a few years. And then after it sucks. I know, a few years is a long time, right? But that's just the way how you overcome the program. How you defeat it is just my opinion. So then, nothing can stop you. Nothing can hurt you anymore. You can take the medicine, it doesn't hurt you anymore. I take my medicine. In fact, I take like 2 antipsychotics, I think, possibly. What is it? I have a stash of medicine stuff here, if you guys can see. But, what is this? Is hydroxyzine an antipsychotic? I can't remember. I'm reading the stuff here. So I'm taking hydroxyzine, trospium. What else is there? Multivitamin, Certavite, or whatever the hell it's called. Melatonin, obviously, for sleep. Trospium again. For urine, trospium again. Another urine, trospium again. My separate vitamins, fish oil, and 1 a day is what I also have. Oh yes, why I don't see that many antipsychotics here, possibly. Not possibly, but for facts I meant. And there's an acetaminophen or whatever the hell it's called. So those are the medicines that I have. So as you clearly see, I have them and I take it. Or you don't have to believe me. I don't really care. But I get injections on top of that. I get injections now. It goes straight to the blood, and then it's like the best form basically. So yeah, at first it sucks. It's scary and it's horrible and pacing back and forth and all kinds of like headaches or whatever, possibly, maybe, all kinds of nonsense is what the medicines do, and it numbs you. And you're just kind of like kind of like a zombie, and you don't like that feeling, but it's better than being irritated constantly because gang stalking, is my experience, is what I would like to say. So after a year or so of taking the medicine constantly, and injections now, with the Veterans Affairs is where I get them, I don't feel any side effects. I don't feel any pacing back and forth or heartbeats, heartbeat like heart attack or whatever, or spasms in the face or stuff like that. I don't have any of those things, thankfully. So for the people that are in the beginning stages of the CSB gang stalking nonsense, I'm sure there are ways to overcome them, as in defeat it, not take the medicine, not go to mental hospitals. Sure, I'm sure there is, but the easiest, safest, best way, in my honest opinion, as a TI that went through this kind of stuff, is to just take it. Listen to what the doctors say and what the nurses say, and whatever medicine they give you. Of course, you can ask them what it's about and study it, because there are many different types of medicine, So, choose the best that works for you and others. For schizophrenia and depression, I'm on, what do you call it? I used to be on olanzapine, risperidone. I don't even remember what I'm on right now. But, yeah, it doesn't bother me at all now when I take it. In fact, I want to take it, because it calms me. It calms my situation and, all this gang stalking, annoying, voices and hallucinations and cars slamming doors and honking and flashlights or headlights, I meant, constantly beaming at you when you're driving, especially, it's less annoying, basically, less irritating, if that makes sense. So from a veteran, you know, a literal veteran too, but a veteran of these medicine and jail and mental hospitals, the best course to take is to take your medicine. Take them, and make sure you don't miss a dose, and your body will get used to it. Your body will get stronger, that it won't bother you anymore. It won't have any side effects and all these things. So yeah, so that's what I like to share my vlog here with you, with the YouTube community and the world, basically, if you guys stumble upon my videos. And that's it. Yeah, so I went to jail twice. I'll talk about the other jail later on, as this is a 40-minute video already. And mental hospitals, I'll get more into detail if I need to, if I might talk more about it on my other videos, as this is a 40-minute video. And so that's it, guys. I do want to sign out, kind of, but I also want to talk more. I don't know what it is. I just love talking. I just love sharing what I went through and stuff, vlog and all that. It's like so addicting to me. I don't know what it means in science or biology or whatnot. Maybe because I'm just kind of miserable and lonely or whatever, possibly. I have no idea. And went through so much trauma and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know what the main reason is. I just love talking. So, anyways, what else is there in the mental hospital? I don't know. I'm kind of depressed too, where I don't want to talk now at the same time. So anyways, make sure, guys, I always ask for 3 things. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments or anything, you can leave them. But if you're going to say anything negative, I'm going to say something negative back at you, you know? Or I'm just going to delete your comments, because I don't need that kind of, you know, madness in my life, you know, what I'm going through already enough, you know? So, support a brother out here that served in the military honorably in the armed forces, and also, you know, went to jail, went to mental hospitals, and as a Christian man as well. So, you know, I'm sure Father, maybe this is why I love talking. Maybe Father in heaven, you know, aka Jehovah, you know, for the Christians that know what I'm talking about. That's his name. That's God's name, basically, or Jesus for the people that know what I'm talking about. Since I went through these experiences, I can discuss it and share it with people, you know, and then people can understand and use it for their, you know, if they're in some kind of similar situation. You know, it's scary at first, yeah, when those guys in a van, or not a van, but a car, you know, rolls up and they come in, you know, basically, you know, detain you and then send you to a mental hospital for months away, kind of thing, kind of nonsense, you know. If you don't know anything, it's scary. Yeah, it's scary, or it could be annoying, it could be frustrating, all kinds of negative, you know, emotions and whatnot. So, yeah, that's what I like to share with you guys. Do what if you can do what I asked, like, subscribe, comment. We'll be truly grateful. All right, guys, signing out. Okay, bye.